Now today's chapter is very interesting. Why? All of us like watching television. Some show or the other. घर में जितने members हैं सबका कोई ना कोई एक पर्टिकुलर शो बहुत ही सबको अच्छा लगता है. ज़्यादातर सबकी अलग अलग चॉइसेस होती हैं, मगर इस स्टोरी में एक फैमिली की एक शो की चॉइस थी जो सबको एक फैमिली में बहुत पसंद था. सो टाइटल क्या है? फैमिली शो. हाउ कैन आई एडवाइज यू टू स्टॉप द गेम? आफ्टर ऑल, games are an important part of our life. But the title of this story is the name of a popular television serial which has caught the fancy of my family. My son likes it, and my daughter likes it, and my husband likes it, and I too like their liking it. It has its good points and bad points. Let us start with the bad points first. Actually, my family feels that its storyline is gripping. But when I see the facial expressions of its characters, which are so angry and rude and unhappy all the time, that I can only feel pity on the characters and on the people who watch it. My family watches it so keenly, thinking that they can afford to miss no dialogue or scene. But I think otherwise. In my view, its storyline has been where it was 2 years ago. And if 1 or 2 episodes are missed, it would make no difference. Of course, you know, my family does not agree with this view of mine. But still, I like my family liking it. Are you confused with what I am saying? Just wait for a while and I will elaborate. This soap is broadcast at our dinner time. I cook while the family is busy in 2 simultaneous acts, watching the soap and eating the dinner. हम में से कितने लोग यही करते हैं? टीवी के आगे बैठ कर के कुछ खाते रहते हैं, खाना क्या खा रहे हैं ध्यान ही नहीं जाता. And this is the only good point, maybe not for the family, but for me at least. Let me tell you how. My son and my daughter and my husband are so absorbed in watching this serial that they would not know what has been served to them. The whole of their attention would be fixed on the idiot box and no attention on the food that I serve them. This works well with me because I am not a good cook. In fact, I am a bank employee and get tired during the course of my work at the bank. But I have to cook food at home. Sometimes I am too tired to cook, but still I have to. And you know, at such times, food is not so tasty. And on such occasions, the serial Stop the Game comes to my rescue. My family consumes whatever I serve them because they cannot afford to talk about the food or protest the menu. They think that if they missed one dialogue, it would render their understanding of the entire serial useless. बड़ी बार देखा है हमने एक सीरियल में या किसी भी प्रोग्राम में, सीरियल टाइप के प्रोग्राम में स्पेशली, कहानी सालों साल वहीं पे एक तरह से टिकी रहती है, उसमें नया कुछ होता ही नहीं. लेकिन जो लोग इन्वॉल्व हैं उनको ये बात समझ नहीं आती. एनीवेज, देखें आगे क्या होता है. As far as I am concerned, there is nothing to like in television other than this program. Why? क्योंकि सबको फैमिली में यही प्रोग्राम पसंद है. But television is put on by my children as soon as they have completed their study and homework. आप भी ऐसा ही करते हैं क्या? After that, it is they and television and nothing else. Factually speaking, television has eaten into our family time and their play time. हर घर की यही कहानी है, I guess. One Friday evening, the vegetable I cooked was a bit too salty. I knew it. My husband too was back from work a little earlier and they all wanted dinner a little earlier because a very vital episode was about to come and they could watch it without any disturbance. But I was waiting for their favorite serial to start. Just then, Oh no, the cable connection was snapped. My daughter stood up in panic. My son thumped hard on the dining table, and my husband rushed to check if the wire on the back had come loose. I too felt shocked. You already know why. नमक ज़्यादा डल गया था ना? The television screen showed nothing but bubbles. We all stared at the idiot box blankly, and then we could listen to some noises outside. We came out on the balcony to see if everything was all right in the colony. Almost everybody was out in the street and balconies. Is your TV on? Inquired our neighbor Mrs. Kapoor. It is on, but cable connection seems to have some fault, I said. I could see the disappointed faces. In no time, many groups were formed which started to discuss what would happen next in the episode. Soon, people forgot about the television and they talked about many other issues. In the meanwhile, many people had rung up the cable man, who promptly came with his ladder and instruments and declared, I am sorry, ladies and gentlemen, but the cable connection cannot be restored for 2 days. The main relayer has broken down and needs replacement, but it has to be brought from Delhi, which will take at least 2 days. The cable man left as promptly as he had come, leaving behind him faces scowling in dejection and disappointment and hopelessness and depression. Shall I serve the dinner? I asked when we were back in the flat. Mummy, I suppose I should serve the dinner today, said my daughter. I could not believe my ears. I looked at her carefully. Is she the same girl who never helped me in the household work? She has always been busy in either studies or television. So good, I said, settling in the chair. Soon, our dining room came alive with talks and laughter. My husband narrated his day at office, while our daughter described her little cute friends and my son imitated a teacher. I too joined the fray and told them how funny our neighbor is. The vegetable was not so tasty, but it was the tastiest dinner which we ever had, while our television sat in the corner quite neglected. We all being busy with work or television all the time, we did not appear to know each other well. This opportunity was like God's gift. We all talked and talked. We never knew we had so much to tell and listen. My daughter and son chattered the whole day, and we wondered if their worlds were so fascinating and colorful. These 48 hours, from Friday dinner to Sunday dinner, when the cable connection was finally restored, were the best period of my life. We talked and sang and danced. Songs and stories and laughter filled our house, making this flat a true home. Time seemed to fly, all thanks to the absence of television. We never knew how we had passed those 2 TV-less days. And then, in the Sunday evening, Mrs. Kaushalya knocked at our door. What are you doing? How are you passing the time without the TV? It is the happiest time I have ever enjoyed. My daughter was the first to speak. It is all fun and nothing else, my son interrupted. Let me tell you that the cable connection has been restored, Mrs. Kaushalya informed. My daughter turned her attention towards the television and my son rushed to take control of the remote, while my husband put the television on. This was the most wonderful time, wasn't it? My husband asked. Yes, it was. We must continue with it, suggested my son. Ever since that day, we watched television only for an hour, and you know which serial it is. Stop the Game. The remaining time of our evenings is now devoted to the lively and absorbing and fanciful family show. I still like the serial, and you know it well enough. Why? तो हमने क्या देखा कि ठीक है, हम मोबाइल पे गेम्स खेलते हैं, हम स्क्रीन पे बहुत सारी सीरियल्स देखते हैं अपने अपने पसंद के, लेकिन इस सब से हमारी फैमिली लाइफ पे क्या असर पड़ता है? वी ऑल बिकम अब्जॉर्ब्ड इन आवर ओन मिनी वर्ल्ड, और अपनी ही फैमिली को हम जान ही नहीं पाते। सो लेट्स होप फ्रॉम टुडे हम थोड़ा अपना टाइम फैमिली के साथ स्पेंड करेंगे और टीवी या बाकी गैजेट्स के साथ कम।